is Sheila, and today we're gonna read the Magic Tree as Merlin Mission Book 24, Soccer on Sunday. And today we're gonna start reading at chapter 1, seriously, and the Anna reading at chapter 2. And now, are you ready for read this one book with a lot of stories? And now here we go. And first you can read is the Magic Tree of Merlin Mission Book 24, Soccer on Sunday Story, Chapter 1, seriously, slowly and carefully. Jack ran his hands over the face of a stony cliff. His fingers grabbed reeds and bumps. He locked his bare toes and cracks in the rock. He knew he had to get to the top. He pushed his legs and pulled with his hands. Oh, he was almost there. He reached up and grabbed overhang on the cliff. The wind screamed and blew against Jack, knocking him off balance. His feet slipped. He was hanging by one hand. Jack! Jack opened his eyes. It was dark. He could faintly see Annie in the moonlight. Annie, he whispered. We have to go, she said. Have to get down, said Jack. He closed his eyes. He was still hanging from the cliff. Annie shook his shoulder. Jack, wake up! Oh, whoa, Jack said straight up. Oh man, I was hanging from the cliff in Egypt. You were dreaming about our last mission, interrupted Annie. Remember, we are hanging from the cliff, but everything turned okay. We have saved Kaku, remember the little bamboo? Right, breathed Jack. He rubbed his eyes and looked at Annie. What's going on? What time is it? Why are you awake? We have to go to the woods, said Annie. It's bad. How do you know? Said Jack. I couldn't sleep, said Annie. I was looking out my window and saw the streak of light. That's it, said Jack, jumping out of the bed. Let's go. Are Mom and Dad awake? No. If we leave now, we'll be back before they get up, said Annie. Meet you outside. She slipped out of Jack's room. And Jack didn't even turn on his light. He changed into a pair of shorts and a t-shirt. He pulled on his socks and sneakers and threw his notebook and pencil into his backpack. And he had tip-topped down the hall, down the stairs, and out of the front door. Annie was waiting on the porch. The sun was about to rise, and the birds had started to chirp into the warm summer dawn. Ready? Jack whispered. Annie laughed on the front porch and stepped lightly over to the wet grass of their front yard. They hurried up the sidewalk and crossed the street into the Frog Creek woods. As they walked between the dark trees, the purple-blue sky overhead was growing lighter. Birdsong filled the woods. I wonder where we go today, said Jack. And what will be secret of greenness that makes the ring of a truth glow, said Annie. Then she began to speak of the dreamy voice, like a TV announcer. What amazing person will Jack and Annie meet today? Jack laughed and spoke dramatically too. And when will they sniff to the mist of a gathered at the first light on the first day of a new moon on Isle of Avalon? And when they do, what great talent will they choose for themselves? Said Annie. Jack laughed again and shook his head. Our lives are kind of crazy, said Annie. You think? said Jack. The chorus of a bird grew louder and the peal of a gourd of a down fluttered down through the trees. When Jack and Annie came to the tallest oak in the woods, they looked up into the branches. The magic tree was outlined against the sky. Without a word, Annie grabbed the rope ladder and stirred it up. Jack followed. Jack and Annie climbed out to the shadowy tree house. The ray of the sunlight had slanted through the window, and it shone directly the sheet of paper lying on the wooden door. On the paper, Jack was writing the secret of the greatness they have learned on last 3 missions: humility, hard work, meaning, and purpose. A gold ring, a tiny bottle, and the yellowed scroll lay next to the paper. Jack picked up the scroll, unrolled it, and read aloud. Dear Jack and Annie, I hope you enjoy traveling to Egypt and learning the 3rd secret of greatness from Florence Nightingale. Now you must learn the 4th of the finest answer all the time, Pelly the Great. Pelly the Great, said Jack. He was really a soccer player from Brazil. I know, Coach Cooney told us all about him, said Annie. This is so cool, said Jack. Wait, said Annie, that's more. When you complete your mission, please come into the Camelot before you return home. So we're going to Camelot, said Jack. Yep, said Annie, and I wonder if we'll go to Brazil too. She and Jack have looked around to the treehouse for a book that would help them on their journey. There, said Annie. She picked up the pamphlet lying into the shadowy corner. I don't believe it. What? Said Jack. Look, Annie handed up the pamphlet. A World Cup, said Jack. This is a big guess of a sport event in each planet. I know, said Annie. Look, it's in Mexico. I've always wanted to go to Mexico. When she opened the pamphlet, she gasped. And look what Merlin gave us. She held up 2 purple tickets. Mexico semi-final, said Annie. Oh, said Jack, reading a ticket. There's a lot of games during the World Cup, but there's only one final. Thank you, Merlin, said Annie with a laugh. So, Paley must be playing in the final, said Jack. Yep, said Annie, shoved the tickets in their back pocket. Don't forget this, said Jack. He grabbed the small bottle lying on the floor and held up into the sunlight. Sparkling mist swirled inside. The mist gathered at first light of the first day of the new moon of the Isle of Avalon. Jack said whenever he and Annie breathe into the mist and make a wish, they magically have a great talent for an hour. Jack had tucked into the bottle into his backpack, and Annie had picked up a gold ring from his floor. There is a ring of truth, she said. You get to wear it this time. Just make sure to keep your eye on it when you're with Pelly. Don't worry, said Jack as he slipped into the ring on the finger. The ring of the truth would shine with a fairy light, and when they discovered the 4th secret of greatness. Let's go, said Annie. I still can't believe we're actually headed to Mexico to the final of a World Cup soccer game to meet Paley the Great, said Jack. I mean, seriously, said Annie. Jack had pointed to the cover of a program. I seriously wish we could go to Mexico City 1970. The wind started to blow, the treehouse started to spin. It spun faster and faster, and everything was still. Absolutely still. Now, chapter 2, Lucky Ducks. Now Jack and Annie are going to meet the Paley the Great and going to do some Bailey foot soccer with them. And now it will be very fun time to play the soccer with the Paley. And we're gonna see Jack and Annie and the Pilly the Great tomorrow again. And now bye-bye everybody, and please don't forget my YouTube. Now bye-bye everybody. Have a nice day. Bye.